Think about a time you forgot to study for an exam, or you missed a homework assignment, and all of a sudden your grade drops down. You then begin to panic and start to question yourself if college is worth it. We've all been through this scenario at least once in our academic years. But luckily, there are solutions and tips on fixing this problem, and it is something to recognize throughout our rest of our years in school. We should acknowledge this issue because having bad grades isn't something any student wants throughout their education. Receiving the right information on how to get better grades in school can easily make a college a stress-free zone. I am an authority to speak on this topic because I have experienced bad grades in the past, but fortunately, I have converted my educational habits these past couple of years, which then led me to have good quality grades. I would like to advise you tips that can exceed your grades in college so that you can maximize your full potential throughout your education. First, I will be talking about the importance of participation during your classes. Then secondly, I will be transitioning about the value of taking notes. And lastly, I will end it with the significance of time management. After we just discussed the main points in our discussion, let's now talk about the importance of participating in class. The first point I want to discuss about is why participating in class can make a difference in your grades. More specifically, the steps on how to participate properly and also the benefits as well. In an article from the College of Distinction website, written by Tyson Schroeder, participation actively engages students with the subject of matter, pushes them to create concepts, and forces them to show evidence with their claims. This statement simply states how participation can push a student to work harder, smarter, and efficient. To begin participating in class, it all starts with the relationship between the professor and student. The more comfortable a student is with the professor, the easier it is to participate. Not every student, though, has the same method on participating as well. Some may have the ask thought-provoking questions, or others might comment on the discussion in class. In addition of the process of participating, the benefits is what expected from students. Participation not only engages the student, but it interests them as well. Being interested on a topic can make you understand more and become more invested in what you want to learn about. When a student is stressed from a certain topic or confused about something, engagement from the professor or classmates can eliminate this because the support that they offer is beneficial. Even in some classes, a participation grade is required no matter what, but if you're already comfortable in participating, you're on the right track. After discussing the importance of participation, now let's talk about the quality aspects of taking notes. When it comes to taking notes in college, it always begins with the preparation. The beginning stage on proper note-taking starts with being prepared to class. Being prepared to class means previewing your reading assignments, reviewing the notes from the previous lectures, or being organized from your other classes note-wise. When it comes to note-taking, recording the main points from the professor's lecture talks about what is more beneficial than writing every single point down. You also have to know what type of format is most comfortable for you as well, either bullet points or just scribbling down lines. There are multiple formats such as Cornell notes, charting notes, and even basic sentence notes, as I said before. Taking notes is very important, but revising them is more important than later so you could refresh your memory. In a recent article from the Austin Community College, listening carefully and deciding what to include in notes keeps your mind actively involved with what you want to hear. Reviewing your notes revisits ideas from the lectures and refreshes your mind on what you've learned. Let's say, for example, if a quiz is about a long video or a novel, you wouldn't want to revise them by reading the whole novel or watching the whole video game. You would rather go through your notes and revise the main points. You will see a change in your grades with the more focus from your notes rather than not taking notes. Now that we've discussed about the note-taking, let's move on to the significance of time management. Time management is something that can be beneficial for anyone's career or day-to-day life. But let's dive into why it works out for college students and how it can improve their grades. Most college students usually have a job or a hobby that can interfere with the student's education. But if you were to plan out a layout of your schedule, it can be less stressful for any student. Managing your time can lower stress and anxiety levels by following your planned out schedule. For example, if you are given 2 weeks to do an essay and you barely do it on the deadline of the date, you are most likely to experience high stress levels and anxiety. The efficient way of managing your time in the scenario is to have strict control on yourself on laying out the way of doing your essay throughout those 2 weeks. Either it could be a couple paragraphs a day or a couple one page throughout a week, whatever strict control you have. But overall, having this self-discipline would avoid any type of anxiety and boost your efficiency. In an article from the Global Indian School, they stated, with good time management, you complete tasks with minimal effort and make most of your time working smarter, not harder. You only have so much time in a day, and you always want to make the most of it. By eliminating distractions and prioritizing essential tasks instead, you should achieve your goal faster. One of the main goals as a college student is to obtain good grades, and managing your time can do it effortlessly. Now that we've finished going over the steps to obtaining better grades, let's conclude. First, I spoke about how participating is beneficial. Then secondly, I moved on to talking about the quality aspects from taking notes. And thirdly, I concluded the discussion about the importance of time management. Experiencing bad grades throughout school is something most students has experienced. But making it that a habit isn't acceptable, and that is why solutions are here to help. There isn't going to be an immediate change in your grades, but I promise you, over time, you'll see a positive difference in your grades and even in life. Not every student is perfect, but with these tools, you can exceed in any educational path you choose.